Melissa Darling was just a week shy of her 34th birthday when she was last seen leaving a casino with a man named Jeremy Upchurch. A few days later, Melissa's vehicle was found abandoned near Lake Hugo with no sign of Melissa. Investigators say that they do have a person of interest in her case, and while her case is listed as a missing persons case, investigators have stated that they do believe that she is deceased and her case remains unsolved. Melissa, a mother to 2 daughters, was adored by her town and would be last seen on June 10, 2011, walking out of the Choctaw Casino in Durant, Oklahoma at 1:35 a.m. While she was at the casino that night, Melissa was seen in the company of Jeremy Upchurch, and the two would be seen leaving the casino together. Investigators say that Melissa followed Jeremy in her vehicle as they drove away from the casino. Around 1:50 a.m., a call would be made from Melissa's phone to a man who lives about a mile from the casino. There isn't more detailed information on whether she knew this man, just that a phone call was made at this time to this man that investigators have identified. A few days later, Melissa's black Ford Sport Trac was found abandoned in an area around Lake Hugo in Oklahoma. The vehicle was found locked and had 2 flat tires, and there was no sign of Melissa in the area. There have been no sightings since Melissa was last seen driving away from the casino, and they did search the Red River for her remains. Investigators stated that they have used cadaver dogs in searches for her, and they do have her dental records and DNA entered into the state and national database for missing persons. When they first entered the information, they did get a few hits, but none of them ended up panning out. Investigators stated that they got very few tips, and when they did, it usually was secondhand or third-hand information. They did follow up on all tips, and they say at least 50 people have been questioned, and several of those questioned took polygraph tests. Investigators state that they have exhausted every lead in Melissa's case and believe she is deceased based on the fact that she has not communicated with friends or family and left behind her 2 children. But her family doesn't believe she would ever do that intentionally. 10 years after her disappearance, her family had her legally declared dead, with the backing of investigators on her case, stating they too also believe that Melissa was deceased. Investigators have stated that even though Melissa has legally been declared dead, that her information remains in the missing persons database and her case remains open. Jeremy is listed as a person of interest in her case, but there is no further information on their investigation into his possible connection to Melissa's disappearance. When Melissa was last seen, she was 33 years old, 5'8", and around 190 pounds, described as a Caucasian female with blonde hair and green eyes. She has 2 cesarean section scars on her abdomen and a tattoo of a dolphin on her lower back, along with a tattoo of a honeybee on her hip. She may use her maiden name, and some agencies have her listed as Melissa McVeigh Darling. Her ears are pierced. She was last seen wearing a blue and white baseball shirt, jeans, and a watch on her left wrist. If you have any information about her disappearance, you are asked to call the Sulphur Springs Police Department at 903-885-3461. Thank you so much for taking